What's going on YouTube? CVH here on channel Earth Power.
What's up? I'm on the other side of the camera.
Yeah. Nodded. We've got some more deck profiles for you. Today we're profiling Phantomach, the Gigatrooper. Yeah, he's a dual Civ evolution on a Chimera or Armorloid. Sort of like Hydrus, except he pumps everything else up in those races and gives them double breaker instead of any unblockability. So it's just a fire, light, darkness deck, trying to take advantage of that. We are still going with the, I think, the Finland ban list that we've been playing. So the one Cranium Clamp is limited, which is why there's only one of them. And also why this deck seems remotely playable in the first place, so we don't get clamped on turn 4 every game. But to go through the cards, fire, it's really all Armorloids, just 4 Kamikazes as our only 2-drop for some cheap Evo bait, and also we have 18 shield triggers in this deck, fun fact. So sometimes tiny creatures just sort of pop out and can be used to evolve on, or even used with Rothus the Traveler for some spot removal. Well, I say spot removal, my opponent gets to choose, so hopefully they only have one thing out, right?
This is a much cleaner deck than the Dark Fire deck I was doing with Rothus and all the other dumb darkness things.
Maybe, if you haven't played with it yet. 2 Simian Warrior Grash. It could definitely be 3. We only actually have the 2 playable right now. I don't even know if this is good, but it was in the list that I saw from someone online, and I was like, oh, pretty cool card. Makes it kind of uncomfortable for my opponent to remove my Evo bait. Might set them back a turn, which, you know, could be the difference between getting Blizzard of Spears or not. A little bit of speed attackers. We like to keep our opponents scared. Let's go over to darkness. More bait, Gigappi Ponto, probably one of the 3s. Only 2 of the 3s in the deck, so definitely something we should play on turn 3, leading up to the Phantomach to give a double breaker. Darkness is almost all shield triggers, just the Gigabalza.
Oh, yeah.
Great Evo bait for us here.
Yeah, Loco, but Evo bait.
Yeah, it's amazing. Zombie Carnival for some sustainability against control decks. We can either choose Armorlords or Chimeras, or maybe even Guardians if we have some of our light cards. Yeah. Kolon, just a pretty good shield trigger, and spot removal maybe on turn 4 if we need it. Played over Holy on this deck just so we have more things to attack with. Pela, sort of with Simian Warrior Grash. These 2 cards should hopefully make it really annoying for our opponents to get rid of our things, especially in control decks where a lot of their removal is power-based. And if we can stick one of these along with Rias, we have a pretty reasonable draw engine in the deck too. Yeah. So with this deck, we don't really need to attack early. We barely have anything to attack with actually, so we just want to build up a board of like pretty decently non-threatening
to get rid of.
Yeah, they're just non-threatening, but they're like things my opponent has to waste removal on, hopefully float long enough to get like a few of them on the board, and maybe Alpha Strike with a 1-turn Phantomach kill once we draw it.
Yeah, Grash was my reading for comprehension card. For those of you who don't realize, Grash says all of your other Armorloids, including himself. So
yeah, well, yeah, so it says all of your, right? It doesn't even say other. Yeah, whenever one of your Armorloids is destroyed. So you play this and they play like, I don't know, Spastic Missile or something, and they're just going to be back at 4 mana next turn.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, and
of course Rothus combos and stuff if you're into that kind of game.
Phantomach Pala, giving all of your creatures potentially plus 4,000 on your opponent's turn is pretty neato too. Yeah, so it's a cool concept. I like this a lot.
We'll see how it goes.
You guys are going to see it in a fun little best of 5 deck against another deck that we'll profile here shortly.
Yeah, we've got a lot on the line, so stay tuned.
Stay on the lookout for worms, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Peach.